First, America, before I talk about this story, I need you to do me a favor, and everybody here at Fowler Nation a favor, and press that subscribe button right below this video. GOP Pundit says the following: Republicans shouldn't listen to know-nothing young people on same-sex marriage. Top Republican pundit Bill Kristol believes that members of his party are only considering support of marriage equality keep up with the TV shows that appeal to some 26-year-old who doesn't know anything honestly. This is what he said. In an interview with the Weekly Standard podcast, Kristol, the publication's editor, argued that Republicans who are reconsidering their position on marriage, like Senator Rob Portman, who flipped his views after his son came out, are pathetic. When the interviewer pointed to the television show Friends and Dharma and Greg, Kristol said that he thinks that young people, he says thanks to young people, this is exactly what's driving the conversation. And this is exactly what he says. I'll read his quote for you, America, so you're not saying that Richard Fowler paraphrased this for you. He says the following: This is kind of pathetic, an attempt of, oh my gosh, young people especially are liberal, so we have to rush to cater to them, as if they're going to respect if you just embrace the view of some 26-year-old who doesn't know anything honestly. Geez, this TV show is popular, so let's throw out thousands of years of history and what the great religion teaches us, and let's embrace it because we don't want to be on the other side of a television show with 2 million viewers or 20 million viewers, excuse me. So this is what Kristol says, and this is just by far not true, right? So let's talk about why young people feel the way the young people feel about gay marriage equality and gay marriage. Now, I'm a young person. And I'm a young person that's involved in media. And there's very few and far between of us young people that are involved in media. And it has nothing to do with the fact that television shows show gay, happy LGBT families having children and being nurturing families, but it's everything to do with the fact that we live in a more diverse society and culture. Think about it, America. In my classroom, I had Hispanics, I had Caucasians, I had women, I had men, I had black women. In my classrooms, I had more women. In my college classrooms, I had more women than men for the first time in American history. Beyond that, we understand, because of the globalization of our society, difference is something that we celebrate in the millennial generation. Difference is something that we understand, we celebrate, and we appreciate, whether you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, or members of the Tea Party. We see the world differently, okay? And to go a little bit further here and to sort of harken back to years and years and years of history, if you were to ask this question maybe 30 or 40 years ago about how young people felt about racism and discrimination in this country, you would find that more young people supported having more inclusion and more integration, where older folks back in that time, or quote-unquote Bill Kristols of the 1950s and 60s, were against integration, were against a post-racial society. Not that we're in a post-racial society, but achieving a post-racial society. I.e., what I'm trying to tell you is that young people, we are the bell curve, or we are the bellwether in changing social culture and social climates. Every movement that we've seen in this country has been driven by young people from age 18 to 35. You start with the ending of slavery. You go to women's suffrage. You go to the LGBT movement, the civil rights movement. All those movements have been led by young people. Young people striving for social justice. Young people understanding that the only way we can truly create change is by having a more open world. The only way we can grow our economy and have a more robust economy is having a more open and honest discussion and dialogue about social change and diversity in our country. Therefore, old man, pale, stale, and male Bill Kristol, you are wrong on this one. You'll continue to be wrong on this one. And any Republican that continues to take the view that marriage is, or we can't change 2,000 years of social policy, you will be left in the dark, and you will be left with, you'll lose your office, point blank period. You'll lose the power that you do have, because the society is changing and the world is changing.